Okay, guys, so, moving on now to my number 2 of my top 10 Marvel superheroes, and that is Daredevil. Yes, I know it's kind of funny that for the past 3 in a row, they've all been street-level characters that have been very interconnected to one another. So, Daredevil, yeah. Now, it's kind of funny, had you asked me like 5-6 years ago, Daredevil would probably be a lot lower on this list, but the more I've read comics of Daredevil and what have you, I've come to really love the character. Not as much as my number 1, mind you, but still, it would be he is a very close second. Daredevil is a very close second in comparison to my number 1. So, Daredevil, as to why I love that Matt Murdock as a character, is because, well, for starters, he's like me, he's a Catholic, and nothing beats good old Catholic guilt. Yeah. Anyway, so I thought that was kind of fun that I could relate to him on that ground of having having Catholicism, but not only just that, like kind of questioning your religion and how far you can take something and how far you can go and still kind of be like in the realm of how you worship and what have you. So I really like that about Daredevil, that he can, do all this, and yeah, I've been really liking Chip Zdarsky's run and how he's been handling Matt and his religion. Which, by the way, if you guys are sleeping on Chip Zdarsky's Daredevil run, go fucking read it now, because holy shit, this is some like almost Frank Miller mixed with some Ed Brubaker run of Daredevil. Go read it now. And also, I think Cicchetto's still on artwork, but I digress. Anyway, so Daredevil, so Matt is, on that ground, I can fully relate to him. He's just a dude who wants to do the right thing, but he goes about it sometimes the wrong way. And trust me, without going into too detail, I have been there so many times of trying to do the right thing, but I go about it the wrong way, and it usually shoots me in the ass. And when I and also, like Matt, whenever I get into a hole, I somehow manage to find a way to dig deeper into the hole, because I can be really self-destructive if I really put my mind to it. So again, like Matt, I can, I relate to that kind of whole self-destruction and make myself try to do things for the right reasons, and with wholesome intentions, mind you. But I go about them the very wrong way sometimes, and I don't stop to think, maybe I should try it a different way, much like Matt. So I very much, sympathize with him in that regard, because I've been in Matt's shoes in that form of just being like, hey, I was trying to do something good here, but maybe I should have stopped and thought, maybe I shouldn't do this, and, do like a knee-jerk reaction. Like a whole knee-jerk, just kind of go and don't think about it. Because here's a good example, guys, of when I can be, when I'm down on myself, I will sometimes spend over $100 in a single day on shit I don't need to try to make myself feel better. Like, that's how bad I get sometimes, where I will just piss away almost $100 in a single day just to make myself feel better on objects. And if you've ever wondered why that pop wall is so big, a vast majority of that pop wall is just me trying to make myself feel better with things. Yeah, I know this is a kind of a bring down phase. I don't mean to bring anybody down. I'm just saying that, like Matt, I know how to fall in a hole and dig deeper, and it takes a long time for me to it takes a while for me to climb back out. But thank God, much like with Matt with Foggy, I've got friends who do their damnedest to dig me out, much like Foggy or Karen or even, Spidey, and sometimes Punisher. So I've got my own little group of people who will do their damnedest to dig me out of this hole and, try their best to make me feel better about myself. So yeah, I didn't mean to bring anybody down, but I'm just saying, like, there's a goddamn good reason as to why I'm so, I care so much about this character of Matt Murdock. And honestly, had I read more of Daredevil's comics than I did of my favorite Marvel superhero, then this would, Daredevil would have been my Daredevil would have been my number one. I'm still, it's still a close second. It is still a very close second. It's just for some minor personal reasons as to why my number one is in the place of my number one. So, and I'll get into that when I get to my number one, because no matter what, that number one is not changing. As opposed to everything else on this list, it's viable to change, but the other, 9 of these slots could easily change in a few years. But the number one, that's not changing. But I'm getting off topic. So, yeah, it's very personal reasons. Not just because, Daredevil's a total badass, and but he's blind, but he kicks so much ass, and he gets so much ass. It's not like that at all. Have you, seen Daredevil's love life? Not the best, and not the most healthiest, okay? Even now in the Zdarsky run, which again I can't help but talk about. Currently in the Zdarsky run, Matt's sleeping with a married woman who's married to a crime family. Like I said, I can empathize with. I find a way to dig deeper in the hole I put myself in. But I don't go to Matt's level. Let me be clear. I don't go to Matt's level of self-destruction. I do not, in any way, shape, or form, go into the same level of self-destruction as Matt does. But I can because I think sometimes, that's a really bad idea. But sometimes I'm just I'll just spend shit ton of money and half my paycheck on shit I really don't need, and it's just gonna clog up my room just to make me feel better for a short time. So, on that regard, yeah, yeah. But I don't go around sleeping with, with people who are with somebody. That's not cool, Matt. And this isn't the first time you've done this, Matt. So, yeah. And again, Daredevil knows what he's doing is wrong. That's another thing, much like with Cyclops, where I was like, yeah, Cyclops has cheated on Jean a few times and left his wife. Daredevil can be like, listen, pal, I have done so much worse. But he knows and acknowledges that what he's done is wrong, and he keeps trying to do better. He's trying to continuously do better. Not just for himself, because he's kind of Daredevil, in a short way, much like Batman. Matt Murdock being Daredevil is the world's longest suicide note for Matt. Much like Bruce Wayne is with Batman. But, yeah, he does try to do his best, no matter what. He does try to keep Foggy safe. He still tries to keep the people he loves safe. He has he tries to be a good Catholic. God knows I try to. I'm not the most 100% Catholic, but I try. And I think I think we can all agree, if you're in a religion or not, at least try, guys. I'm not going to tell you how to worship your God, or how not to worship whatever deity you respectfully worship. I'm not going to tell you that. I'm just saying, I try. I try to do good, even if I fail miserably in that angle. But again, that's why I kind of empathize with Matt, because, he tries to hold up to those morals, whether they be religious or personal, and he trying to keep going with, just tries to take one day at a time, and I can, I'm like that. So I can really sympathize with him in those regards. So, yeah. Not much else I can really say about Daredevil, other than being a total ninja badass. Other than that, there's not much else I can say. So you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you guys think of Daredevil? Like I said, and as always, like I said, this list is just my personal favorites. If you think a character should be higher or lower, that's totally fine. No ill will against you. These are just my personal favorites. And like I said, they could change in a few years, or hell, even a few months. But once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.